The Galactic Warfare Convention had banned hydroweapons for over 3,000 years. Even the most ruthless species in the galaxy considered them too horrific for civilized warfare. The universal solvent could dissolve organic matter in seconds, turning living beings into molecular soup. It was the stuff of nightmares, a weapon so terrible that even mentioning its name in polite company was considered taboo, which made the current situation aboard the Crimson Nexus all the more surreal. Commander Zekthari of the Zarian Imperium watched in growing horror as the human prisoner, a scrawny male called Thompson, casually lifted the Hydra weapon's containment flask to his lips and took a long, satisfied drink. "Stop!" Zekthari's voice cracked with panic. "What are you doing?" Thompson lowered the flask and wiped his mouth with the back of his hand. "Sorry, was that yours? I've been stuck in this cell for 3 days without water. This stuff tastes a bit weird, but it's wet." The bridge crew collectively gasped. Several Zarian warriors stepped back in revulsion and terror. One of the junior officers made a sound that the universal translator rendered as incomprehensible cosmic horror. That's concentrated dihydrogen monoxide," Zekthari stammered. "A single drop can kill most carbon-based life forms. You just consumed nearly half a liter." Thompson looked down at the flask with mild interest. "Huh, fancy name for water. You guys really need to work on your chemical terminology." The silence that followed was deafening. Communications Officer Veldar was the first to find her voice. "Water? Did he just call the universal solvent water?" Thompson nodded. "Yeah, H2O. 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 oxygen. Pretty basic stuff where I come from. Though this batch has some mineral content. Kinda tastes like it came from a tap that needs a new filter." Chief Science Officer Morketh began frantically accessing his databanks. "Impossible! Dihydrogen monoxide is the most corrosive substance known to galactic civilization. It dissolves flesh, corrodes metal, and has been responsible for more deaths than any other chemical compound in recorded history." "Well, yeah," Thompson shrugged, "if you don't know what you're doing with it. But humans are like 70% water. We drink it, we bathe in it, we cook with it. It falls from the sky on my homeworld. Kids play in it during summer." The horror on Zekthari's face was reaching new heights. "Your planet rains universal solvent? Every few days, usually, sometimes for hours at a time. Plants love it, animals need it to survive. We've got these massive bodies of it called oceans. Some of them are thousands of kilometers across." Morketh was pulling up holographic displays now, his tentacles moving frantically over the controls. "According to our xenobiology databases, this explains several anomalies about human physiology. Your species' aggressive cellular regeneration, your resistance to most toxins, your ability to survive in hostile environments. You've been swimming in universal solvent your entire evolutionary history," Veldar whispered in awe. Thompson finished the rest of the flask. "Look, I don't know what you call it, but this hydro weapon of yours is just water. Maybe a little hard water, given the mineral taste, but definitely safe to drink. In fact, if you've got any more, I could really use it. Dehydration is no joke." Commander Zekthari stared at the human for a long moment, then slowly turned to his science officer. "Morketh, bring me the complete files on human biology. All of them." "Sir? If humans can drink our most feared chemical weapon like it's a refreshing beverage, I need to know what else they're capable of. What do they breathe? What do they eat?" Morketh's research began immediately. The results, when they came in an hour later, were even more disturbing. "Sir," the science officer reported, his voice shaking, "humans regularly consume compounds that would be classified as industrial solvents, biological toxins, and corrosive agents. They intake molecular oxygen, a highly reactive compound that causes cellular degradation. They voluntarily expose themselves to radiation from their star. They consume ethanol for recreational purposes." Ethanol? A compound so caustic it's used to sterilize medical equipment? Zekthari looked back at Thompson, who was now sitting cross-legged on the floor, apparently meditation. "What are we dealing with? A species that evolved in conditions so hostile that our deadliest weapons are their basic life requirements, sir. They're not just immune to our hydro weapons, they need them to survive. Thompson opened his eyes. Hey, any chance I could get some food? And maybe some of that oxygen stuff? The air in here's a little thin. Commander Zakthari made a decision that would change interstellar warfare forever. He opened the cell door. Thompson, he said carefully, would you be interested in discussing terms of alliance? Within a year, hydro weapons were reclassified as humanitarian aid supplies. The galaxy had learned a valuable lesson. Never assume your ultimate weapon isn't someone else's basic necessity, especially when that someone is human.